In today's video, we're going to be having a conversation about if there's Pokemon opportunities in the market right now to take advantage of, or whether you should wait for some more to present themselves. Before we jump into that, however, as always, make sure you leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We post pre-recorded content for you to do so each and every week for you to enter into our weekly giveaways. As always as well, if you want to be a part of the community, we've got awesome links for you guys to take advantage of to join any of our socials, including our Discord, where you can be a part of the PokemartUSA community. But jumping into today's video, I'm going to try and keep this video short, sweet, simple, and to the point, right? Obviously, I've been gone for the past week and a half. Monday's video was a discussion on how with distribution, there is not really much going on with new product. And obviously, in terms of what's going on in the general market, as we discussed on Monday, prices are just continuing to rise. With that being said, the market itself is extremely boring and it's extremely predictable. Things are going to just keep going up until further notice. Of course, further notice being when a reprint happens. If it happens, we don't really know. We're all kind of in the dark on this, and we're just playing the waiting game of seeing what the Pokemon company is going to do because we're at an unprecedented time. So the question remains, while all of this is happening, are there opportunities in the market to take advantage of while prices are continuing to climb? Yes and no, and I'm going to give you my general sentiment and explain what I mean by this. Yes, there are some few and far between opportunities I do think people are sleeping on. As I've said before, Charizard Ultra Premium Collection is an item I think will do really well long term. It's a Charizard item. It's an Ultra Premium item. It's just like a match made in heaven for something that's going to do well. Just because it's been printed into the ground doesn't mean anything, because it's deflationary. The more that it opens, the less supply there's going to be, so it's going to scale well long term, right? Pokemon Go ETBs, those are items that I've said before, I'll say it again. I think Pokemon Go as a set, I understand the disdain for the set, but as with Shining Legends, when that set also first came out, there's a ton of disdain for it. And I feel like there's a very similar pattern that I'm seeing here where history is repeating itself, and it wouldn't surprise me if I did see Pokemon Go long-term perform extremely well, especially considering you look at the entry point you're able to get in at with a lot of Pokemon Go product. It's just a really amazing opportunity I still think that people are sleeping on. Outside of that, you've got Crown Zenith standard ETBs that you can still pick up at MSRP in store. Online, you're not really finding that opportunity, but I still think that if you can get it at MSRP, then you're still, walking out winning in the long term if you're looking at it from that perspective. But outside of that, there are, some other opportunities, but really just kind of few and far in between. I mean, I was even looking at Hidden Fates ETBs, and I've been for the longest time watching the price range from $130 to $150 and been saying, wow, this is extremely undervalued. I'm surprised we're seeing the price of this ETB just, range from $130 to $150 for, several years now. And I went and checked today and prices were at $175 and climbing. So things are just moving, man. Things are just moving. And so that's why for today's video, although I gave a couple of examples of opportunities, and I just want to kind of get that point out of the way, I wanted to have a little bit of a different sentiment on the discussion for today's video, right? And obviously kind of continuing and building upon Monday when it comes down to we don't know what's going to happen in the market. We're in an unprecedented time. I think that the ultimate play at the end of the day is really just to be patient and just to kind of wait. And if you want to take advantage of some of these opportunities right now, you can. But when it comes to future opportunities to take advantage of, I think that there's going to be a ton more that are going to present themselves in the future, regardless of if a reprint happens. And really just trying to be that person that's not going to jump and FOMO in on a lot of these items that are well above MSRP, well above wholesale, and so on and so forth. So, because here's the deal at the end of the day, guys, right? We can sit here and play our hypothetical game. Is the reprint happening? Is the reprint not happening, right? But even if you haven't been playing that game, what have been the best opportunities realistically within the past couple of months, like 3 to 4 months, right? It has been Crown Zenith ETBs at $40, $42 a pop. Now looking at pushing $70 online on market price, right? It was Pokemon Center Crown Zenith ETBs picked up at $65, now pushing $120. It was Charizard Ultra Premium collections, which of course, now looking at it, the price for flipping them, if you were able to get in at that price point of around, market price 120 on pre-sale, and then flip it when it was at the high of $300, high of $200, $250, and resell it, you were able to make a killer opportunity on that. And as I presented most recently with Scarlet and Violet booster boxes at that 105 price point, 110 price point, I do believe it's going to follow that similar pattern. But ultimately, at the end of the day, what is the pattern that I'm showing you guys based off of the examples I just gave? It's all newer product that came out, and you were able to pick them up at a extremely affordable price and either flip them now or hold for a long-term approach. Or a medium-term approach, depending upon how quickly they continue to go up in value, right? Another example of that, Silver Tempest booster boxes, right? Well, everyone was panicking and watching the price of everything around it going up. Silver Tempest booster boxes were selling, when I made the video, at $90. And I said, hey guys, Silver Tempest booster boxes are selling for $90. That's a crazy good deal. I think it's well worth picking it up. You picked it up at $90. You're now looking at it pushing close to $140. That's more than a 50% return on that, right? It's a simple recipe. It's a simple conclusion that you kind of have to get to. And all of it right now is nothing to do with reprints, right? Because it only has to do with new sets that are coming out, right? A new set comes out, it's undervalued. You get in while it's undervalued. Prices go up. And to be fair, the fact that there is no reprints as it stands right now that we know of coming, this is help feeding into that. But at the end of the day, you're negating an extreme amount of risk by taking this approach rather than going and investing in, let's say, a Brilliant Star booster box for $144 on the Pokemon Center website. Because yes, they are available for $144, and yes, if you wanted to, you could go buy them for $144 and flip them on TCG Player's website for $175, $180. But at the end of the day, after shipping and fees, you're really not walking away with that much money to begin with. And if hypothetically a Brilliant Star reprint were to come, then you're going to be left holding the bag at that $144 price point when it could potentially drop down to $120, $100. And that's why taking advantage of opportunities where you're able to pick this alternative product up, and by alternative, I mean just new set release product at well below MSRP, close to wholesale. And you know that hypothetically speaking, if we do hear information of a reprint to come and prices do end up crashing, correcting, that you're going to be in a price point that is going to be really, really good when it comes to dollar cost averaging, right? And that's the thing about the Pokemon company or just investing in Pokemon that I feel like a lot of people just take for granted or they don't really understand. And it's quite simple, man. When it comes to Pokemon investing, it is not complex, right? What is something that Pokemon has that, crypto doesn't? And you know what that honestly is? For a lot of product, we can predict the top, and for a lot of product, we can predict the bottom for ultra modern new sets, right? And what do I mean by predicting the top versus predicting the bottom? I don't mean the literal bottom, right? It's not like if Evolving Skies gets a reprint, I can tell you exactly pinpoint when it's going to go down, but I can tell you that it'll never go down below a certain price point, right? And that price point is quite simple. It's always $10 below whatever wholesale is. That's just how it's been historically, right? We saw massive reprints happen 2 years ago. Battle Styles, Fusion Strike, Chilling Reign. What was their low of the low? $75 for them. What was the wholesale price? $85 to $86. Previous to that, Crimson Invasion. It was a set that people were not big fans of. What was the low of that set? Around $65 to $70. What was wholesale at the time? Roughly around $78 to $76. What was the same? The same thing happened for some XY era sets, right? When you had Primal Clash reprints, when you had reprints for Roaring Skies. It's just, once again, history repeating itself. So if a reprint doesn't happen for a lot of these items, what do? You look at the new items that are coming out close to wholesale and you pick them up knowing that, hey, there's, as it stands right now, the trend is your friend until the end of the trend. You keep looking at that trend of prices are going to just keep going up on these newer sets after the initial release point, and they're just going to climb, and then you just profit out on it, right? Or you're wrong and the trend changes and reprints all come and dump, and then you get access to product close to wholesale, knowing that you're close to the bottom of this item, and you say, great, I'm close to the bottom of this entry point, and I can pick up for, if it does go cheaper, at a slightly lower dollar cost average, knowing I'm not going to be left holding the bag because I decided to go pick up a Brilliant Stars booster box at 144, thinking it's a really good long-term hold, and then it ends up getting a reprint, right? And so ultimately, at the end of the day, this video is mainly just kind of an argument against right now getting greedy and just talking about being patient and just waiting for new set releases and opportunities that are going to continuously present themselves, rather than feeling like you constantly have to be in a position. It's never a bad thing not to be in a position when it comes to investing in Pokemon product, because if you're sitting here right now saying, Eli, I just got into the hobby, I really want to go and invest in Pokemon right now. Obviously, I missed out on the Scarlet and Violet booster box prices at 105. I mean, if you can find them still, then awesome. You really missed out on Crown Zenith at $40. You missed out on, Crown Zenith PC ETBs at $65, CUPCs at $75, $80. I just feel like there's not really an amazing kind of opportunity that I just, I need to get in. So I'm trying to find these opportunities that I just have to jump into. And those aren't presenting themselves. So don't get in. That's it. It's as simple as that, right? And I feel like I'm having this discussion because, like I said before, I was going around and I was trying to look at today, all right, what's good opportunities in the market, right? And, Eli, top 3, top 5, what are your top 5 favorite things to invest in? And if I'm being honest, I don't have top 5 favorite things to invest in, because I don't think there's 5 things worth investing in right now that I think are amazing opportunities. So what's the point of making a video like that, rather than saying, hey guys, I'd much rather give you reasons why it's not a good time to invest, because there's just not product available that I think is at an amazing entry point for a medium-term approach, right? And medium within, the next year or so. Obviously, as things progress and we get full-on confirmation that there is or isn't going to be a reprint, then my general philosophy is going to change on that, or my general stance, I should say, not philosophy. But as it stands right now, just what's wrong with waiting and being patient? And I think that's the problem, is a lot of people don't want to do that. So as I've said many times before, and I'll say it again when referencing Warren Buffett, be fearful when others are greedy and be greedy when others are fearful. And right now, people are getting greedy. People are hopping into long-term positions on booster boxes for items that are vastly above MSRP, expecting it to be a really good position, even though a lot of these items, Silver Tempest booster boxes, Lost Origin booster boxes, Brilliant Star booster boxes, these are all items that have come out within 2022, and that was not that long ago, with the expectation that this is it. They could be right. Of course, I could be 100% wrong. It could be a really good position, right? But at the end of the day, I'm here to tell you that the risk to reward ratio for these positions is a lot scarier than just getting in a new set that you're going to be able to get in at a way better entry point, knowing that we can predict that it's not going to fall below a certain price point based off of just what history has consistently told us, versus if Evolving Skies reprints were to come, right? And you're saying to yourself right now, hey, I got in at $300 for an Evolving Skies booster box. I think this is great. I'm going to hold long term, expecting this to go up. Sure, that's great. You got in at a great price point compared to what the current market price is. Well, even if we can't predict the bottom and we say, yeah, it's never going to go below $150, right? What if it goes to $200? If you got in at 300, you're still down 33%, which is insane to think about. And the dollar cost average entry point on that is not going to feel that great when you're down 33%, and you're just going to try to negate that by going down another $100, right? Versus if you got in at, Silver Tempest right now, and if you're being smart, you're obviously going to sell when we get word of reprint, but let's say you don't and you just want to double down. Well, hypothetically speaking, what's the lowest it could, possibly go? I'm not saying it's going to go this, but, if history said that Silver Tempest got brutalized, just massive reprint, what could it realistically go as low as? $75, $80 if it were to follow the same kind of pattern as Fusion, Chilling, and Battle Styles. And for those people that think that's crazy to say, you guys remember when Chilling Reign was $150 and then it got a reprint and it went all the way down to $75 from $150? Yeah, that happened. the pre-release price for Chilling Reign was $140. It came out. The price of the booster box went down to $120. It then got its second wave that was delayed inevitably, and then the price went up to $150, and then finally it had its second wave and it went all the way down to $75. It's possible, guys. Let's not act short-term memory goldfish here. Like, it's possible where something like that could happen to Silver Tempest, but if you got in at that $90 price point and it does go down to $75, $80, $85, what, you lost 5%, 10%? You dollar cost average in a lower position. Your average now becomes 5% above what your previous low was, right? So ultimately, at the end of the day, you're just able to negate risk a lot better for these items that you're getting in a lot closer to wholesale than you are trying to hypothetically continuously take that risk of a reprint not coming. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it isn't. But what I am saying is that you have to look at your risk to reward ratio, and now is not the time to be gambling, not knowing what the future is going to hold when we're in an unprecedented time. If you've been listening to the examples I've been giving in the past couple of months of the opportunities that have been presenting themselves, you've been able to get in at a very low risk point position, and so far the reward point has hit every single time, right? And that's the point that I'm kind of making is don't FOMO in. Be patient, wait for these positions to present themselves, and then enter those positions knowing that you're going to be safe even if prices were to correct, right? Don't play the game of guessing. Is it gonna crash? Is it not gonna crash? Play the game of I don't care because I'm winning either way. And I think that's what matters at the end of the day. And I think that's the point and the sentiment that I am trying to get across. Just be patient right now, guys. Wait for those opportunities to present themselves, and you don't have to be in a position every freaking minute hoping to just take the most out of it, or not trying to get the most out of it just because you'd much rather be in a position than be on the sideline because you anxiously can't control not buying something for Pokemon. Because it's an addiction for a lot of people. I understand that, but patience is a virtue. But as far as it goes, that is all for today's video. Hopefully you guys found this video to be informative. Like I said before, when I first sat down and was ready to record, my initial thought was, all right, let's look at these opportunities in the market and see what there is to pick up. And although there's some opportunities, they're not amazing opportunities, and I don't want to give you guys a top video of, the best pickups if I don't truly believe there is incredible killer pickups at this moment in time to take advantage of. And so I'd much rather just lay it out flat and give you guys my general thought process, my sentiment on where I think we are in the market as it stands. But if you want to enter into our weekly giveaways, make sure you leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, hit that notification bell. All you have to do, of course, to enter, like I said before, Monday, Wednesday, Friday is when we have our pre-recorded videos for you to comment, like, and subscribe on, and you can enter in multiple times by commenting and liking on each video, so multiple opportunities to both enter and win. And then lastly, if you want to be a part of the community, links down in the description below for you to join our Discord or access and follow any of our socials that we have. But that is all. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Until then, I will see you all on Friday. Peace.